Yeah.
They didn't care, so they jumped all over it. And that's where we're at right now. They jumped on this, and they're trying to push this nonsense. It is blatantly retribution. It is designed to prevent people from risking challenging the law. You know, there's no other law on the books has anything like that in it. That alone should be out of unconscious.
I gotta say. Remember, we were talking pre-show how on Sunday I thought I'd pushed all the buttons and thought I was live, but I wasn't on YouTube. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
We're now.
We're not live on YouTube, are we?
We're now live on YouTube. Just now. So.
Whoops.
Yups. I can't believe I did that, but I did it again. What's that? Britney Spears. Whoops! I did it again. Yeah. So anyway, and that's.
Yeah.
I've never actually heard that song. I just know that's the title of one of her songs. So anyway, one more story I want to cover in the time we got left. We may have time for two, but I think we're going to have just get this one. And this one is actually a really smart writer wrote this one. This was off Tilting at Windmills by this guy, Tom Knighton. And this is not...
That guy?
Yeah, that guy. Not directly gun related, but it kind of ties into the California thing, and I'll explain in a bit. Washington University diversity lecturer won't debate systemic oppression. And there's a professor at Washington that she's a she's
a lecturer.
Okay, she's a
lecturer on as part of their I don't remember exactly what, it's basically their diversity, equity, and inclusion indoctrination program for kids. She's part of that. She lectures on supposedly systemic racism and systemic oppression. And she just came around and says, you know, I welcome your thoughts. You're welcome to share them. I'm not going to debate. Which basically translates to, you can tell me what you think. I'm going to tell you you're wrong and do anything about it.
Let me read a quote from her. This is the beginning of an article off Fox News. A lecturer for Washington University in St. Louis's medical school was caught on camera warning students that if they try to debate her on critical race theory and systemic oppression, she will shut that stuff down real fast. I have a really hard time being neutral around issues of systemic oppression, Caitlin Reedy Rogier told a class of medical students this past semester in a video exclusively obtained by Fox News Digital. So oftentimes you'll know how I feel. This does not mean I'm opposed to hearing other perspectives. I would like to be very clear about that. I'm always willing to engage in dialogue with folks that may disagree with me, always. Except, and then let me just continue a little bit. I will not think of less of you, nor will I try to fight you or debate you. And in that fact, if you try to fight or debate me, I will shut that stuff down real fast. So she's got an indefensible position. She's lecturing on an indefensible position. And how do you defend something that's indefensible? You shut down the offense.
If you are enough of an expert to lecture at a university on this topic, you should be well versed enough to be able to debate it. Now, I get that we don't have time in class for lengthy debate. You know, you got an hour, 2 hours. You know, I don't know how long classes are at medical school, but you got enough time. You have. I get. We're not going to have that debate here. That's fair. But when you're sitting here going, I will shut that S down.
Yeah.
What you're telling me is the only dialogue that's actually warranted is you can sit here and say, well, this is what I think, and you're told any following dialogue needs to be, oh, well, tell me what I need to know so I could be a good little Marxist soldier. That's the dialogue she wants. That's obvious. Right? She doesn't care about that. She just wants people indoctrinated to her way of thinking. And the idea of having to defend it, she can't. She doesn't know the subject well enough, or as you point out, it's an indefensible issue. She can't know the subject well enough to defend it because you can't.
And how far have we come in 55 years when we go from question authority going around college campuses to I will shut that S down?
And a lot of people that were sitting in that classroom were like, oh yeah, obviously. They did not bother them at all, the idea of shutting down debate and discussion. That's terrifying.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let me get a comment in here quick. Big John 410 gave a quote from Franklin Leonard: when you're accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's a valid point. But it's about how so many who are still saying oppression, that they're oppressed, are able to say this stuff in major universities, receive paychecks to say it. I'm like, you know, or no, LeBron James is a prime example. He's talked about how he's oppressed. Makes how many millions a year? Oppress me as so, oh Lord, please.
Or Brittany pot smoker that got pinched in Russia, and she did something illegal, and yet she's so oppressed that her government traded an arms dealer to get her back. That's how oppressed she is.
But one so notorious, Nicolas Cage, or that movie. This wasn't just like a regular arms dealer. This was the Lord.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the movie was very fictionalized, but he was the basis for that entire part. This was not a run-of-the-mill, he sold some guns to some, African rebels. This was a guy armed, like the Taliban.
And he specifically was selling arms to kill Americans. That was his goal.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, Tom,
he was not a friend.
No, we're down at the bottom of the hour, man. If we could, I want to have you. What's coming up from you on Bearing Arms? If you can promote that. If not, anything else you'd like to plug, bud.
I've got. Let me look at what I'm got in mind here. Let's see. We're going to talk a little bit about some gun confiscation here in the West. Got some stuff about some Chicago high school students are going to do a walkout during class to protest violence, which clearly is going to make a huge impact on the people actually shooting others. Because I'm sure they're, oh crap, I didn't realize that was a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've got a very low tolerance for virtue signaling. You want to do something to combat violence, more people. But when you're going to do something really just an empty gesture, it's an excuse for these to get out of class. That's all it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely it is.
I guarantee you a class for the time they're going to do the walkout test plan.
Well, and I'm going to say this: I'm going to be shocked if it's not supported by the teachers' union.
Oh, absolutely. And it's I've heard about protests against gun violence, and every time I'm like sitting here going, only one person who's ever started walking the straight and narrow after one of these.
Doesn't happen.
Show me one. I want to see it. Show me, please show me I'm wrong.
All right. Well, Tom,
Never
we got to get out of here, man. I got to turn around and do Polite Society in about 28 minutes. So,
just remember to push all the buttons.
Yeah, I deeply apologize to those of you on YouTube again. So, but I will get it right in 30 minutes when I do Polite Society, or in, like I said, 27 minutes and 45 seconds. I'll get it right then. Thanks for watching, everybody, today. Do come join me the rest of the week, 5 p.m. Central Time. And, oh, by the way, one last thing. If this is your last show you're going to be catching this week, Merry Christmas. So, but do come join me 5 p.m. Central Time if you can the rest of